Slovakia for the Indonesian is give a lot of opportunity for the Indonesian business. So if you think about the non-traditional market, for example, I think Slovakia is the best one. You can develop, you can expand your business here. So we have to think beyond our traditional market, beyond our traditional mindset that dealing with Europe is only in the Western Europe, but now in the Central Europe and the Eastern Europe, the opportunity is there.
Voice of Indonesia.
VOA listeners and viewers, thank you for joining us on Indonesia Today. VOA listeners and viewers, Indonesia and Slovakia are intensifying cooperation in various fields, including energy and agriculture. To find out more about the cooperation, we present you a program, Indonesia and Diplomacy, in which we will address the issue further with the Indonesian Ambassador to Slovakia, His Excellency Dr. Pribadi Sutiono, who is already connected on the Zoom. Hello, Mr. Ambassador Pribadi Sutiono. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much. It's an honor for me. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us on Indonesia and Diplomacy. And how is Slovakia today, especially Bratislava?
Well, as we speak now, Slovakia is a bit chilly, it's a bit cold now, but everything is good. We had a very good start this Monday because the weather even is cold, but the sun is shining. So I think this is a good opportunity. I mean, it's good for us to start the week.
Very good to hear that. And hopefully the bright weather in Bratislava and Jakarta, Indonesia, is also as bright as the cooperation between Slovakia and Indonesia, especially in the energy and agriculture that we are going to talk about. On the sidelines of G20 summit in Brazil, Indonesian President Prabowo Subianto made an explanation that Indonesia has great potential in developing green energy. So what do you think about this and the contribution that Slovakia can also give to Indonesia?
I think what is our president had mentioned is very right because now there is a cooperation between Indonesia and Slovakia in the various fields, especially in the green energy, renewable energy. You name it, from the nuclear power, from the bioenergy, hydropower, wind energy, and including the geothermal as well. You know that Slovakia is one of the countries that has a leading technology on those green technology, energy. So I think now we are believing that we are now enhancing our cooperation through the cooperation between the government, the two government, as well as the two business people in the two countries.
What about the concrete cooperation that the two countries have been achieved in this sector?
Well, yes, you're right that a lot of activities already been done. For example, we had a cooperation in East Kalimantan. We have a cooperation also in Manokwari in terms of industrial power plant, for example, and even that for the nuclear cooperation, as you know that now one of the program of our new government is also to develop the nuclear program, and this one is actually been deal with Slovakia since 2011 between the Baca and the nuclear authority in Slovakia. So I think the future of cooperation in new energy, in renewable energy or green energy is very, very promising between two countries.
Okay. And what about in the agriculture? What can we learn from Slovakia that can be applied here in Indonesia?
Well, I think we starting our cooperation in agriculture with Slovakia is I think it's about 10 years ago when we starting to have kind of developing what we call the tropical wheat, which is we trying to develop our wheat, the wheat between the two countries in Indonesia, which is in Sumatera Barat, in West Sumatra, among the two universities, which is University of Andalas as well as the Nitra Agriculture University. Now is a very promising as well, because you know that the world situation is not good, especially in Europe. You know that the Ukraine, the neighbor of the Slovakia, is now in the war with the Russia, and Ukraine is one of the biggest producer of wheat. So by developing this one, I think tropical wheat, I think that we can also self-sustain in our needs of the wheat. And also now we are having a kind of a cooperation with one of the company here in Slovakia to have developing a fertilizer, which is very interesting because the fertilizer is not made a chemical one, but it is a non-chemical, which is produced from chicken feather, for example, and also the bone of the animals. So we are having a cooperation here with in the agriculture sector, and I think this is also a promising one with the cooperation between the two countries.
Okay, so developing wheat crops that grow in the tropics. Wow,
Yes.
interesting. So between universities bringing experts from Slovakia like that.
Yes, yes. We already have. I think the Andalas University already developing three variety of this kind of wheat. Not only with Andalas actually, but also with the other university now is already developing in, for example, the Institute Pertanian Bogor as well as the Hasanuddin University. So this is very good because we can, the Indonesian, they like to eat, instant noodle, bread now, not only rice, but so instead of we have to import, why don't we just developing our own tropical wheat?
Couldn't agree more. Any other commodities in agriculture that will be pursued?
Well, now we are trying to have another crops, which is in corn, for example, because you know that European is also good in producing corn, but also we are exporting our, the residue of the palm oil, the pome, for the bio energy in Europe. Well, the palm oil itself is not permissible to go to Europe, but the palm oil residue is now being used widely in Europe for the bioenergy. So this is also a kind of cooperation between the two countries in agriculture.
And in doing this cooperation in energy and agriculture, I mean, what challenges that are being faced by the two countries?
Well, the challenge is actually we are not know each other very well yet. The Indonesian not knows Slovakia that well. They knows Czechoslovakia, but not Slovakia itself, and also vice versa. The Slovakian, they don't know Indonesia that much, except Bali maybe. So now the embassy is trying to reintroduce Indonesia more in Slovakia, as well as my colleague, the ambassador of Slovakia in Jakarta, try to reintroduce Slovakia in Indonesia. And now we do a lot of things to do this one. Business, politics, as well as social and cultural events we do. We made it since 2022. Now we intensifying this kind of relations in many aspects of relations.
And so far, how's the response from Slovakians about Indonesia through the efforts to promote more about Indonesia?
Well, I think now in politics, a lot of dignitaries from Slovakia now has more interest in Indonesia. Not to mention that they are now getting closer to Indonesia, because one of the issues is Slovakia also needs their friends beyond Europe. So this is a good opportunity for Indonesia to approach Slovakia, to reintroduce Indonesia to Slovakia. So the visits of the dignitaries from Slovakia is now increasing, as well as from Indonesia to Slovakia. But in business, as I mentioned, the investment of Slovakia in Indonesia now also getting stronger, but also Indonesians' investment in Slovakia is now rapidly increasing. So this is beyond our imagination, maybe on 2 or 3 years or 5 years ago, but now it's become a fact. In terms of we traditionally have a cooperation in the defense industry, for example. Now this is getting closer, and then I think Slovakia is also going to attend our Indo Defense in next year, January next year. In social culture, we try to reintroduce Indonesia through a very good Indonesian culture. We had wayang exhibition, we had coffee as well, we had one night in Bali, for example. So I think we are getting there. Well, it's not perfect yet, it's not there yet, but so we have to do more effort, as for sure.
Out of energy and agriculture sectors, in what other sectors that you think both countries have not yet been pursued, but really necessary for both countries?
Well, as I mentioned before, that one of the issues that we should develop between the two countries is on technology. You know that Slovakia is good, is one of the leading country in Europe that good in technology, and then this opportunity, this what you call it, the good things from Slovakia should be made use by the Indonesian, and we are trying to do this one by connecting a lot of Indonesian universities, the universities in Slovakia, and surprisingly, a lot of Indonesian university would like to have a kind of cooperation with Slovak, especially in the technologies sectors.
Okay, final statement, please, about the cooperation bilateral ties between Indonesia and Slovakia.
Well, this is very interesting, and I think it's good for you to pose this question. Actually, the Slovakia for the Indonesian is give a lot of opportunity for the Indonesian business. As you know, that Slovakia is right in the middle of Europe. So it's very close to anywhere in Europe. So if you think about the non-traditional market, for example, I think Slovakia is the best one. You can do selling your product to Slovakia, but not only to Slovakia. Why? Because Slovakia is a small one, but you have to make Slovakia as a hub of your commodities here. So by doing so, you can develop, you can expand your business here. And also because now Slovakia is becoming a more open country. If I may say that now a lot of Indonesian workers is coming here. It's already become tenfold since I came here. In 2022, it's only around 50 or 75, but now it's only 500, almost 500. So there's opportunities here. So we have to think beyond our traditional market, beyond our traditional mindset that dealing with Europe is only in the Western Europe, but now in the Central Europe and the Eastern Europe, the opportunity is there. Thank you.
Ambassador Dr. R. Pribadi Sutiono, thank you very much for giving us new insights about Slovakia and Indonesia. Hopefully, bilateral ties between the two countries, and of course, the people will be strengthened.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, and have a nice day.
You too. Thank you.
VOA listeners and viewers, that's today's program of Indonesia and Diplomacy, talking about energy and agricultural cooperation between Indonesia and Slovakia. Find out more interesting interviews only on Indonesia Today from Voice of Indonesia. From Indonesia to the world.
Voice of Indonesia.